Hi everyone, Dan from D-Baka Maker here, and this is my Railroad Spike Halberd Challenge entry. Try to get this out as soon as possible. I might just take a picture of the finished product before I actually publish this video because I want to get the entry in on time. So, I have my forge set up, I have my anvil set up, and I'm getting ready to go. My halberd is based on antique colonial halberds that I've seen online that had tangs rather than langettes. A ring of metal would be driven onto the haft and a rivet would be driven through both the ring and the tang to hold the head in place. So I have my railroad spikes here, and I'm just going to make some marks, starting at roughly 3 inches back from the head and 4 inches back. Yeah. So I was doing a little bit of cleanup on this. Focus. That is an HC marking on the back of those railroad spikes that James Duncan sent me. So these are higher carbon than standard railroad spikes. They're not the MC, they're the HC type. That doesn't mean they're high carbon, just means they're higher carbon, a little tougher. So I just took these to the drill press to deepen those center punches. On one, it's going to be for a slot. The other one, it's just for reference. And I am indeed going to be using my safety glasses. My mark there, tie you in there, burned it a little bit there, didn't I? It's proving to be a challenge. To get this slot punched. But I am nothing if not up for a challenge. Let's just clean off some of the coal dust here. Clean off some of that coal dust. Okay. I'm not going to be able to see much of the heat because sunlight's getting to that point where I'm going to lose my shade. I need to do a set down here. Here. Okay, I'm gonna have to work this area in here. To do that, I'm gonna have to reinforce this area here. So I'm gonna bank my fire and come back when I can actually see what I'm doing. I have an iron heating up right now. This is how far I've gotten on this so far. I've got some refining to do, but I'm going to move on to the next step because in order to do that refining, I need the next step done. And that means I gotta lock this down. Alright, I'm going to have to grind that off. So, that's it for now. I'm going to let this cool in the dirt box forge. And let the forge die out. I must like it because here I am, back at it. At least charcoal smells like a barbecue when you're starting it up. Now, per the general outline that I formed earlier, today I'm going to be shaping out the tang off of this side of the spike. I already got this taken care of, and I still see my marks here, so I know where I'm going to be sitting down for fitting through the head, basically like this. And that means that I have to narrow this down to roughly 3/8, and I have to widen this out and clean up the inside to roughly 3/8, basically, so that I can fit them through and then forge weld them together. But today I'm just forming out the tang. find that the mesquite helps with the sulfur smell. That worked. This is just about down to its size. Almost there. Sorry about the video. I had to switch to my other camera while my first one is charging. A little off center. Okay. It warped a little bit and go out driving it, but that's all right. When the time comes, I'm just going to take this, bend it back down. But now that it's been drifted, and I compensated for the too thin side by adding too much on the other side, I say that I compensated. I compensated. Now comes the time to clean up the interiors, the two surfaces that are going to be welded together. Or since I've got a big fire going, I might work on the spike side now. That'll be fun. I think I might finish it off right there. And now and once it's welded, figure out what to do next. But for now, That's all, folks, for today. Now, the welding isn't going to happen today because I have to clean up not only the tang / top spike, but also the interior of the socket, the mortise. So I have to clean those things up before I can go forward with the welding. There's still a gap down there. And I'm seeing still a seam. So, because I'm in rush, I'm going to clean this off and just wire weld it. Too impatient. And pulled the iron out of the fire too soon. So, I went to my wire welder and I sealed up a few holes. The inside did indeed tack. It welded. It was the edges that I couldn't get to. So, in a future video, I'm going to have to practice forge welding. So now, so let's go back to something a little bit more productive. Let's start tapering this spike out. Gotta get that back in the fire. It's a little wonky. That did it. This is a medium carbon steel, but it is not necessarily truly hardenable. Let's find out. No. It bites right in. That's fine. Okay. Here it is. It's a Brut de Forge, but it's got my touch mark on it there. And I've tried a variety of different finishes. I even went and bought some what I thought were brass wheels. They weren't. Well, brass wire wheels. I was going to brass the whole thing up. But this is it. This is the honest finished product. It is a bec de Corbin here. There is a ridge that runs down there, and a ridge that runs down there. That's what made the bec de Corbin, the bec de Corbin. It is not sharpened, and it is not hardened. But this is a tough steel. It probably doesn't need to be all that hardened and tempered. And the tang, there's enough left up here so that a person could drill a hole and put a pin through to hold it into the pole. Now, I was going to try to demonstrate this as hafted on this pole, because the way this style of pre-colonial, this is not medieval, this is a pre-colonial style of halberd, was they would put it in a pole, drive down the tang, then put on a ring around the top. Now, this would not be the final one. This is just something I made for something else. And then drive a pin through and rivet it. So that would keep the head on the staff, and it would keep the wood from splitting. So, but as it is, when I was trying to drill this out, the drill bit broke, and it's still inside the hole. I think this would have looked fantastic this way, but I'm not going to take that time right now. So here it is, my railroad spike halberd. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the giveaway drawing.